Hello my crochet friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope everybody is well. You guys want to hang out with me while I work through my creative process on projects? I'm still working with the Lion Brand ice cream yarn because I fell in love with it many years ago when I first bought it, and then I rediscovered my love for it when I had come across four balls of it at the thrift store. I found 3 that were lemon swirl and 1 that was tutti frutti, and I bought them. I brought them home. They were sitting around my computer desk, and just one day I got inspired to make a blanket. And so that's where I've been these last couple weeks and these last couple months. I have been with my love and obsession of Lion Brand ice cream yarn, right? So I did a blanket that is like a granny square, but in rows instead of going around and around and around. And I used the lemon swirl, which was 2 shades of blue, yellow, and white. And then I went from there to tutti frutti, and then cake batter, and then bunny tracks, and then I don't remember what this last color was. So y'all have seen this blanket, right? And it came out beautiful, and I absolutely love it. So to me, like, Lion Brand ice cream yarn has like 3 different colorways, okay? There's the one where it's variegated and multicolored and lots of color. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. And then they had this Lion Brand ice cream sprinkles yarn where white is the base color, and then it's got these little speckles and these little sprinkles of color. So I did Granny in Rose with this one. So that leaves me with what is their gradient ombre yarn that does self-striping, okay? So I'm showing you this one, but this one's a new one. Well, new to me, sort of. I don't even know. I filmed this video once already, but my microphone died 2 minutes and 8 seconds into a 30-minute video. So instead of doing a voiceover, I'm just trying to refilm it, and I'm going through what I had already said. And I'm like, okay, well, can I say that better? Can I say that different? Could I say it just the same way I did the first time around? So my brain's doing 3 different things at once. When I bought the Lion Brand ice cream yarn, it was in 2016, 2017. And I wanted to see what its self-striping capabilities would look like. So as small as these balls of yarn are, I figured it would be a shorter color change, so I didn't think I can go very long with my initial starting chain. So I had done 100, 110, and I used the linen stitch, so you know it's a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then do your single crochet in the chain 1 space in the next row. And I with only like 110 stitches wide, the self-striping did a wonderful job, right? Now, so this ball of yarn started out with the white and went into the medium shade of pink, and then the darker shade of pink, and then all the way up. So it makes for a very narrow blanket. So this is in the color, I think they call it strawberry, which they still make this color today. But this I bought in 2016, 17, and this is when I made it. Now, I also have other colors sitting here with me. And I swear, in the last couple days when I've been sitting with this at night, writing up notes, that I used 2 different hook sizes and didn't know it until 10 years later when I pulled it out of my project pile. And I'll tell you why it went into the project pile to begin with, because I just couldn't figure out where I was going with it. When I come across a new yarn, I like to play with it and I like to sample it. So this winds up being just a big sample for me. If I can take my big sample and turn it into a blanket, that's awesome. But sometimes it just sits in my project pile because it's not really a project. was a sample because I was checking out their colors, checking out the texture of the yarn, the price of the yarn. I'm trying out a new hook. I'm trying out a new stitch. And that's where this kind of landed. So I had bought the pink and I bought the blue. So I did a blue one. Same thing, linen stitch, 110 stitches wide. You know, so it's not a wide blanket. Now, I did have a suggestion to make it into a cot blanket, but it's really kind of not my style. So I like to add things together and make them bigger and bigger and bigger. So I still love the way that the striping, the way it did the self-striping here. I thought it was great, right? So then I thought, okay, well, let me take the blue, sit it next to the pink, and I can stitch it up together and make a bigger blanket. Because that's how I like doing pink and blue in a blanket. Because I've always been of the mindset that pink is not just for girls and blue is not just for boys. So I like to put the two colors in a blanket together. And then I was like, well, let's try out another color and see if we can add another color to this, right? Well, I went with the gray, the cookies and cream. And this one, I can tell for sure. I used a size G for the hook because the stitches came out a little bit bigger. And it's got a lot of pull to it, right? I think the pink is made with a G, but the blue is made with an F. So I wound up using two different hook sizes. I don't know what happened back in 2016 or 17, all those many years ago. So the gray didn't quite work out for me. I don't think the gray went well with the pink. Let's go down just a little bit. I don't think the gray went well with the pink. And I don't think it went well with the blue. But I was still willing to try it. I was still willing to lay them out on the bed and see if I could put them together. But it just didn't work for me. So I had another ball of yarn. So this wasn't the gradient or the ombre. This was the one with multiple colors, and it's banana split, which I still love banana split to this day, and I'm sorry that it's a color they discontinued. It's wonderful. I did find some on eBay, somebody selling 3 or 4 balls of it, and I'm seriously considering buying it. So this has got white, blue, yellow, orange, and purple, which I think that is a lovely color combination, and it still did the striping at 110 stitches across. All right, and I'm pretty sure I used a size F on this one. So I've got 4 different pieces here. 2 are with an F, 2 are with a G. So this, but again, the colors didn't quite work out the way I wanted them to. So let me, I'm going to lay them out on the bed. Arlo is keeping us company. He's sitting behind me, rolling around, saying, Mom, look how pretty I am. Come pet me. Such a ham for the camera. All right, so. Don't mind the lighting in the room. It's getting a little darker. It's later in the day for me. And hopefully you can still hear me because I'm using the microphone on the camera. Alright, so this is what I was thinking. I was thinking blue. And then pink. I would put these together and make a bigger blanket. Right? Hi, hi, hi. Get your claws out of that one, mister. Oh, so pretty. And yeah, it would have been awesome. It really would have. And I love it. But I guess I wasn't too happy with that back in 2017. I don't know why. So then I thought, okay, well, let's put the gray in there, right? We'll separate these two. Put the gray in there anyway. See if it'll work like that. Do you see that? That just does not quite do it. The gray is too dark. So I wasn't happy with that. But I was still willing to try maybe 4 pieces and put it together like a square, okay? Arlo, stop chewing it. So I thought blue there. Let go. Let go. I thought maybe I could put all 4 pieces together like panels, okay? The blue up in there, the pink here, with the gray there, and then a banana split here. And while it doesn't actually look too bad sitting here like this, I still wasn't happy that gray is just not working for me. And then, because these are more of a gradient and an ombre, and while this has got multicolors in it, the blue doesn't match, because this is more of a greenish blue, while that is full-on sky blue, right? And there's no pink in here to tie it into the pink here. And the gray just was not going with anything. You know, did you see Arlo? He jumped up over there on my side table. My side table is actually an old writing desk. He likes to play this game called Make the Bed, where I take the blankets, and I go like this, and I drop them on top of Arlo, and then he plays with them, and he tries to make the bed. So do you guys see where I was going here with this? So for whatever reason, all those years ago, it wasn't working for me. It's not the pattern, because I think the linen stitch, as narrow as I made it, did a wonderful job showcasing and highlighting the self-striping. Okay, and I love this. But, you know, with the fact that I used 2 different hook sizes. The F, which is a 3.75 millimeter, and a G, which a lot of times here in the US is a 4.25 millimeter. So there's a little bit of sizing difference to them. Can I have that one back, Arlo? Yeah, that one back. Good boy. I have to kind of hold his paws so he doesn't stick his claws in there. So this was my original project with the Lion Brand ice cream yarn. And it's where I fell in love with it. It's got great, it's got great stitch definition. It's soft, and it's got some drape to it, and I like that. I don't like it when my fabrics come out super stiff. I like it with a lot of movement, right? So you can just curl up with it. So now I have to decide what I'm going to do with it today in April of 2025. Am I going to frog it and then start over with a new stitch, a new technique, a new color variation? Like, what am I supposed to do with this now? I don't know. So I'm asking you guys, help me out. What would you do with it? Would you leave them as they are and pick different colors to go with the pink and the blue? Would you completely scrap it and frog it and start over? Or would you go yarn shopping like I did to see if we can add some other colors to it to make it work better? Yeah, so I do have other options. The gray is not one of them. My mom's been using gray to make sweaters. This gray and white, I think they call it cookies and cream, and it's a color they still make today. So I'm going to be frogging this one and sending it to my mom. So this is not an option. We are not working with this. We're sending it to mom. Also, besides the fact that I used 2 different hook sizes, I used 2 balls for each little blanket. So what is the specs on that? That is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 394 yards, 360 meters. Okay, in case you want to pause that and see the numbers. That's what I was working with. So it was 2 balls for the blue, 2 balls for the pink, 2 balls for the gray and white, and the 2 balls for the banana split. So I went shopping and I found a color on Lion Brand's website. It's called Watermelon, and it's in the big scoop, which is just means more ounces and more yardage, okay? I really like the color on this one. This is not going to go into this project because it's not the right shades and tones. Look at that. You know, it's called Watermelon. It's got 2 shades of green, 2 shades of pink, and white. And I did like the way it worked up, but it will not work with this blue because the blue is way too pastel. It won't work with the pink. Definitely won't work with the gray. And it won't work with the banana split. But it did striping up like the banana split. So that much I do appreciate. What I didn't like, though, is the texture. These little 3.5 ounce balls of yarn came up super soft. And I love the way it feels. This skein of the Ice Cream Big Scoop, it feels acrylic. And it feels a little bit like Red Heart Super Saver, so it's a bit scratchy. I do not like the texture on this at all. I'm hoping that once I do come up with a project for it and do it some justice with these color changes and the color combination that they have on here, that I can wash it and maybe that will soften it up a little bit. But overall, I do not like the quality of the Ice Cream Big Scoop. And I don't know if it's like that for all the big scoops versus these tiny little balls. I don't know if it's the same, but these are so soft and this is not. So if you guys are using the big scoop, let me know if you're finding it to be a bit scratchy, you know, and texture wise. Let me know. So this is not going to work, although we did have fun. You know, I like playing with new yarns, and I like playing with new color combinations. I like trying out new hooks. I like trying out new stitches and new techniques. That I do get a bit obsessive about it. Like I want to master the new stitches and the new techniques. That's why I use it in so many projects. So like this wasn't necessarily a blanket project. I was just playing with the yarn, and I was playing with hook sizes. Probably why I was using it in an F and a G, probably to figure out which one I liked better. So I do know that I like the F better because I was just recently, I had another ball of the Lion Brand ice cream in the mint color. I have a tendency to call it minty, but they call it mint on the label. So I did grab a hook. I grabbed the F, which is a 3.75 millimeter. This is my boy hook with the ergonomic handle. I love these handles on the boy hooks. So I bought this ball of yarn at AC Moore, which is no longer open. I bought it in September 2018 for a regular price of $4.99, but I had 50% off, so I paid $2.49 for it. Okay, like I had put a label on there so I can remember where I got it, when I bought it, and how much I paid for it. So the thing is, I only had one skein of this, one ball of this. I didn't have two. So I couldn't make something to go along with the pink one and with the blue one because these were 2 balls each. And for some reason, I only got one. So this was bought in 2018, just last week or the week before. I went to Hirschners.com and I bought a new one, but there is a bit of a color difference in them. So I bought this April 9th, 2025. $5.99 is its full price cost, but when I add in taxes and the shipping and handling, I paid $9.80 for this. Be careful with online shopping with those shipping costs. So you can you guys see it? Because I mean, I can see it in real life here. This one, this mint color is a bit darker and it has a little bit of a teal undertone to it. while this one does not. This one is not as dark. So as much as I'd like to put these two together, I can't. Because this was manufactured in 2018. This was manufactured in 2025. I cannot put these two together. So it's either shopping on eBay and see if I can find one that's very similar from 2018, or just go back to Hirschner's and buy another new one from 2025, which I think is what I'm going to have to do, because I was working my ball up from 2018, right, in the linen stitch. And I just did this last night. But you see this? It's not striping like the blue did and like the pink did, which I think the pink they called strawberry, and I think the blue might be called blueberry. It's not doing the self-striping. So there is a manufacturer's knot that was started pretty early on in this ball of yarn. So maybe if I go back to the manufacturer's knot and then start from there, maybe it might do some self-striping, but right now it's not doing that. But I think it'll work really well with the pink. Sorry. There we go. I think the pink and the mint will work really well together. I also think the mint and the blue will work really well together. Yeah. So this mint is an awesome color, but I will figure out if I can find a ball that's similar to the one I have from 2018 versus the one from 2025 that I just bought. All right, so then also at Hirschner's, I bought the yellow color. They call it lemon meringue. Now, I do find this version of the yellow to be a bit warm to go along with the pastels, but I think it will work. I think the yellow will work with the pink. I think it'll work with the blue. And I think it will work with the mint. All right, so I'm going to lay these out in the way I think that they'll work together, and then you guys can tell me if you like it or not. So what do you guys think? Still, I would put blue up in that corner. I would put pink down here. I would put yellow there. And I would do the mint here. Yeah, I know the yellow is a bit too warm, I think. But I'm hoping it'll balance out with this mint, because the mint is a bit warm too. Do you know what I mean by like warm tones and cool tones? Blue is typically cool, green is typically cool, yellow and pink are typically warm. So I think it would balance out. At least I'm hoping it'll balance out. So my idea is to do 4 panels, square the blanket off, and crochet them together with just plain white. Crochet them up this way and this way. Make them white, and then do a white border on it. That's what I think I should do. But I am a bit undecided. And then I'm going to have a project with leftovers at some point. There's my Lion Brand ice cream yarn pile. And then here's my bag with leftovers, right? Let's see. These are the leftovers of the multicolored yarn, right? This is the Patons. Oh, which I found out just recently. It's actually not Patons. It's pronounced Patons. I didn't know that, so I will try to correct myself. This is the color I used on the border of the Sprinkles blanket. Here's my Sprinkles leftovers. I do have another ball of ice cream yarn, and what color is this? This is one of the last ones I bought at Joann's back in March of 2025. $5.16. Twin berry cheesecake. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that one. So yeah, a leftovers blanket is coming. Probably not anytime soon though. Because I think I need to finish this up so I can move on to other things in my project file. So you guys see where I want to go with this, right? Am I going in the right direction? Do the colors work? I'm not one for second guessing myself. Normally I know exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. For whatever reason, I am just stuck on this totally and completely. So I can use some feedback. I could use some help. I can use some opinions and some creativity. Should I frog it? All of it? Should I frog it and start over with a new stitch or a new technique or a different color combination? Should I keep going with the way it is? If I do keep going with the way it is, I will frog the blue one and the pink one, but just make it with the same hook and make them the same hook size, and because I feel like the pink is wider than the blue, or the blue is wider than the pink. I feel like there's a little bit too much of a discrepancy with using two different hook sizes back in the day. So I would frog that just to make it the same way that it currently is, with all the same hook size, if that makes sense. The watermelon color. What I'm going to do is I do have, I'm going to be looking for the same weight yarn. I'm going to see if I can find some green that will match this, and just like leave this in the middle as like a panel, and then just find some color that will work well with this, that will coordinate with the pink and the green in here, and just go around and then just finish it like that, which is also what I'm thinking about doing with the banana split. I'm going to check my stash, see if I have purple or that light shade of blue or maybe some yellow, and maybe do that with this. Although I can get some more of the banana split on eBay. I am seriously considering buying it. But again, I don't know. Just for the first time in my life, I am so very indecisive on what I want to do next. So, I'm not going to work on this yet. I'm going to fold it all up nice and neat, put it back in the bag that I had it in, and I'm going to leave it sit for a week. I'm going to wait for you guys to leave me some comments down in the comment section below, because I would really appreciate a little bit of help. But I mean, again, look how gorgeous they are, right? I mean, I can sit and look at these colors all day long. They're just so pretty, and it's so soft. So maybe I'm not quite done obsessing about the Lion Brand ice cream yarn yet. Maybe I need to go buy some more. The purple color. They do have a purple color, but I feel like they went a little wrong with the purple, that instead of doing a medium shade of purple and going into a light shade and then into the white, I feel like it's too dark of a purple. It's dark purple into a light purple and into the white. So I think they kind of messed that one up a little bit. They should have gone a little bit lighter, I think. And then I know they have a second pink color, and it's called, I want to say Birthday Cake. I do find that one to be a bit too bright and a bit too saturated, so that won't work for my project at all. And that's only if I decide to leave it the way it is and not frog it completely. Yeah, I'm just trying to fold it real quick while I'm here. Arlo keeps trying to chase after the little yarn tails. Little menace to society that he is. So Mom, if you're watching, I'm going to be sending you some yarn, or maybe we can pick a day and I can drive it to you. Go. I am pleasantly surprised with this mint, the way it was working up. I do like the softness of this color. I really do. I just wish it was striping up better than the way it is. If I I know that I'm going to frog this and try to start it in a different spot in this ball. Like, I've already pulled all this out to see if I can find a better spot to start, so it could stripe up. And I might do that just to keep my hands occupied because I'm working on so many projects right now. I've got a #1 super fine weight yarn sitting on my desk, and I had just recently bought a smaller size hook to use with it because it needs the smallest size hook possible, I think. And I'm making a granny square out of it. And then I decided to make multiple granny squares and then trim it in a neutral color. I'm working on patchwork squares. I am working on my tree skirt panel numbers. I'm actually writing down the numbers on how many stitches are in each row. So I'm working on multiple projects, but for this one, I like to just sit and do the linen stitch, just back and forth, back and forth. I find it very relaxing. So even if I don't use this ball of yarn in this project because it doesn't quite match this one, I still am going to sit and play with this one. Okay. All right. So I think that is it for today. Hopefully my microphone on the camera worked. I'm so sorry. My microphone, I spent half an hour doing this and my microphone its battery had died and I didn't know. There was no flashing lights anywhere to let me know that the battery was dead. I had no idea. So hopefully I did this as well as I did the first time. Oh, the days when all your technology decides to break. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope life is treating you good, that things aren't too bad, too stressful, that you're all in good health, happy spirits, you know. Yeah, you know how much I love you guys. So many ums today. Yeah, I really do like that mint color. And I'm curious to see what the yellow would look like. I've worked with the yellow before. I worked with it in the big scoop. And it was in my shed. Unfortunately, the blanket I was making with it and the yarn itself got damaged by squirrels. So, I mean, I do know what it looks like when it's worked up from the big scoop, and I don't know if it changes differently in the smaller balls. But there's my pile of little itty-bitty blankets that I want to put together to make one big blanket. There's my other two that are already done. There's my experiment with the watermelon. And there's Arlo, waiting for us to be done. Hi, oh baby. He's a good boy. He just loves playing with yarn tails. Okay, say goodbye, Arlo. Okay, I think now that's finally it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. You know how much I appreciate each and every single one of you and how much I love you guys and this little community that we got going on here. It's really pretty awesome. If you guys don't have an opinion on what I should do with this project or this blanket, just let me know what you're working on down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys. I will come back to this next week, okay? After you guys leave me some feedback, we'll come back to it next week with a plan, hopefully, on what I'm going to do with it. Am I frogging it? Am I going forward with it? Am I gonna throw it in the garbage? No, that's not an option. That's not an option. This yarn is way too pretty for that. All right, so I will catch you guys later. Bye.